interfacing, okay? Otherwise, it's going to bubble and just make your collar look funny. Okay, so,
Bless you.
Shirt shape is what I've told you to get. Don't ask them, just go look for it. It's woven. It's like a thin piece of muslin with glue on the back. That's all it is. Cotton muslin. Okay, this is paper. The next thing I really like is called Easy Knit. I use a lot of this. This will stabilize, but it won't make anything stiff. So I like it on my shirts because it makes the collar soft. And I don't like my collars super stiff. I use this all the time. When I buy it, I buy like 10 yards at a time because I use this all the time on knits. It's a good stabilizer. It can stretch if you get the right stuff. This is really good. So you can get this at the fabric store too. It's just like the old tricot that none of you guys know what it is except for me. Okay, I'm going to pass that around. Here's the woven. Woven, okay? So that stiffens the collar and it interfaces the collar. That's really important. So what you're going to do is get your little sample that is puny, like this. You're going to cut two, and you're going to take that iron-on interfacing and cut one. And notice it is in beige. Okay, that's my iron-on. What do you see about it that's different?
Smaller.
Smaller. Okay, so you have to cut almost all of the seam allowances off. So your seam allowances on this are a 1/2 inch, so that's why it's smaller. There's no sense putting your interfacing and having that in your seam allowance, right? So you want to get rid of it so all you have is just barely enough to catch in the edge of the seam. Okay? So interfacing is always cut a little bit so that it just barely goes in that seam allowance. So in this case, it's 5/8, or I mean a 1/4 I trimmed off. Okay, it's going to look like that. You're going to put right sides together, and this is the top of the collar. This is the neckline. The small piece is the neck. You're going to go straight down, over, and there to sew it together. Okay? Now, here's how you sew collars. Oh, dear. Anybody see that Sharpie that I...
The green marker for the board is right there.
Okay. So, here's how we're going to do this. Here's the small end of the collar. It looks like this. We're going to back stitch right here. We're going to come right to here, almost to the point, and then I want you to go 1 stitch on the diagonal. Okay? Anybody want to guess why?
Reinforced.
Because you need to get some of this fabric out so when you flip it, remember on our pockets how we trimmed it? Well, you've got a lot right here. So you want to go 1 stitch on the diagonal. That'll help you so you can get a really nice sharp point. If you come to a point, there's no place for that fabric to shove into. Okay? So it's maybe going to be 1 stitch or 2 stitches. Just enough so you can get that fabric in. And when you get that done, you're going to reinforce it about 1 inch before, just right there. So this line is 2 stitches reinforced because we've got all this braiding and trimming to do. Okay? So when we do that, we're going to take our scissors and cut it on the diagonal just right before where we got that stitch on the diagonal. Okay? We're going to trim it like that, and then we're going to take a circular motion and go like that and trim it out. Okay? Why do you think I want to do that?
To get the point.
Okay, yeah, I want to trim all that excess.
And the bottom part too.
Yes. And the bottom part is going to go like that. Okay? Only it's going to be even closer to this reinforced, this is reinforced on the diagonal. Okay, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Okay, you're going to do the whole collar on your sample, and you're going to cut it in half, and you're going to turn this one inside out and have a nice finished half the collar. And then you're gonna leave this one so I can see that you know how to sew on the diagonal and braid it out of it. Okay? So one collar, but chop it in half. Questions?
So how do you want us to do the double? You want us to...
Just don't, so I'll know, because it'll have two stitching lines right on top of each other.
Okay, so you want us to stop and then go back? Or
Yes, go all the way around it, and then just start right here and read the course.
Okay.
So you don't want us to like back stitch it and then
No,
or anything
you
like
don't
that?
have to. No, just gonna go right back over those stitches following that diagonal. I'm gonna look for that diagonal on your stitching, not a point like that, okay? Okay, so that's the collar. Now, now the other one is the collar stand, or in your sample book, it's called a mandrin collar. If I left the collar off a shirt, it would be called a mandrin collar. But we're not going to sew the shirt this way, but I'm going to show you how to do a mandrin collar, and the preparation for the shirt will be very similar, okay? So here's what our mandrin collar looks like. It's rounded, like this. We're going to do the same thing. On my sample, I'm going to put my interfacing so that it's a little bit smaller. Then I'm going to sew it around. This part sticks up, the collar inserts like that, okay? So, but in this case, we're just going to do a sample of mandrins because that's, you need to know how to do a mandrin. So we're going to stitch it around here to here. You're going to do a little bit of back stitching, very neat. Now, an inside curve we clip because why? Because we want to open it up and make it straight. An outside curve we want to take fabric out because of bulk. Okay? So it's called notching. Don't forget that because it'll be on your test. Clipping and notching. There's not clips and notches on your pattern. It's notching out, takes out bulk. And that's just a little teeny, little teeny. I'm talking 1/8, not great big pieces of pie. Okay? Little teeny, and about all you need to do is 3, because all you need to do is take out the bulk on this curve. Okay? So you're going to do that, cut it in half, turn one, press it nice, and then leave one so I can see the inside.
And do you want us to top stitch the one?
Nope.
No. Okay,
Nope,
just turn it inside out.
I want to see the inside of this collar, and I want to see how well you press it and make it nice and round. I want you to see that you've notched and that you've done your points correctly. Okay? My samples are in 2 little pieces, so you can see how they are. Here is, let's see if that works. Oh, I hate this thing. Jill loves it, but I hate it. Anyway.
This is the camera.
Oh.
No, back.
I will pass it around, okay? This is the inside of my collar. This is the finished. That's what your samples are going to look like.